Hey everybody, SPSB over here, covering on the last build that's going to be relevant in PTR. The Tiki, well, it used to be Tiki Sacrifice because it used to use Homunculus, but now it's going to be, I guess, called Tiki Zuni, where it uses the Tickling Visage for permanent fear, 6-piece Zuni monster set to increase the damage, and also using Tasker and Theos to up the damage even furthermore for our fetishes, and it also uses Star Metal Kukuri. Gains a lot of toughness from the Zuni monster new 4-piece, which they changed. As you guys know, the 2-piece is your fetish army lasts until they die. The 4-piece set, you and your pets take 2% less damage for every fetishes that you have. And then a 6-piece set, enemies hit by mana spenders take 275% more damage from your pets for 4 seconds. Big thing here, we're not running Unity Ring because we're going to get a lot of toughness from the fetishes that we have out. Hey, what's up, Team Blood? And then we're also going to be running with the Tiki Sack, or with the Ticklet and Visage, so we're going to have Permafear, we'll have plenty of toughness, and the pet's going to be doing astronomical amounts of damage because we have a good mana spinner, which is Acid Cloud, Acid Rain, and we also have the Tasker and Theo to increase their attack speed, and we also going to have Big Bad Voodoo from the Star Metal Kukuri. So let's go ahead and get in gear with, get in line with what gear I'm using. Tickle and Visage has to have 8 seconds, makes your life a lot easier. Crit percent chance, Int Vitality Socket. Got a cooldown reduction gem inside there. We also have the Ogdo's Power, Int Vitality, cooldown reduction, and Fetish Army damage. Pretty solid there. Got to get that cooldown reduction. Int Vitality, Fetish Army damage on the chest. Bracers are going to be physical. Int Vitality, crit percent chance. We also have the Tasker and Theo, Trifecta, increases our pet damage. We have a Ring of Roll Grandeur, so we can get the 6-piece with the Zuni, with the chest, with the pants, the shoes, the offhand. We're also using a Zuni Masa Pox, so we can get that 6-piece set and still be able to run Tasker and Theo. SMK, Witching Hour Belt, Haunt of Voxel, and then of course, you know, everything else. If you wanted to run the Builder Cloth of Transcendence, or Builder Transcendence, you actually could, and then just replace the Rain of Toads for Haunt. But for this situation, we're going to keep on the Witching Hour, use Rain of Toads to generate our fetishes, and use Fetish Sycophants. Our gems, of course, are Enforcer Gem, Pain Enhancer because we're running Physical, and we're also running Bane of the Trap. Skills are Plague of Toads, Rain of Toads, Acid Cloud with Acid Rain, Jaunt, Legion of Daggers, Face of Death, Slam Dance, Pierce the Veil, Fetish Sycophant, Spirit Vessel, and Gruesome Feast. Acid Cloud will be our, and Piranhas of Paranata will be our Mana Spenders. Let's go ahead and take out a Trial Rift Key, because you guys know I like to always show it in Trial Rift Key. I don't think this is necessarily the greatest build to do in Trial Rifts, but it's okay. I prefer the Jade build for Trial Rifts with Wormwood. That seems to do pretty well. And the whole premise of this build is just to get the fetishes out, amp up their damage as much as possible while permanently crowd controlling all the enemies around you. I really haven't ran too many Trial Rifts with this, so I can't really tell you at what level it gets. I know Jade has been doing a great job with Wormwood. I can get 43s and 44 keys, almost no problem, which is pretty nice. And the fetishes seem to be going to town on everything, due to the fact they got the increased attack speed and also the damage amp from the Big Bad Voodoo. And the Permafear makes it so enemies don't run around too much, so they can do their damage and get rid of them as quickly as possible. The Permafear also helps very good when you're getting big mobs and you can lock everything down, and it's also pretty nice on elite mobs as well. As long as you can get all the monsters together, it's a really solid item to have. One thing I want to look into getting is either the Eye of Eldritch or something like that. Basically, it's the eye. You guys know what I'm talking about. It basically reduces damage from ranged targets, which is really good. Or end up getting either a Hellfire Amulet or S of Johan, so that when I attack, I have the chance of making all the enemies stack close to each other, so we can make it so that we can easily CC everything. But yeah, somebody just asked, I did switch to Tasker and Theo. Eye of Elich, right? There we go. I don't know, I call it Eldritch. I think I'm thinking of another game, but it's Elich. Yeah, damage seems pretty good so far with the Tiki Sack, especially now that I got the Tasker and Theo on. The fetishes are hitting way faster, putting a lot more damage and making them a lot more scary. So that is a big difference, especially when you increase their attack speed that much. So just gotta make sure I drop some good Acid Clouds to keep their damage up high. And that's pretty much about it. Everything else is dying really fast. Wish I had some kind of vortex, but they seem to be doing okay. Yeah, but when it dies, then all you do is just run it with a Jerome, and that's like the only difference. I mean, you'll have to deal with the elites. You won't be able to perma-fear them anymore, but it won't be like totally horrible. Focus and restraint can work very well as well too. But I find with the Zuni Masa, and I looked at some other witch doctors, it makes sense because you get the extra toughness bonus from having a bunch of fetishes off. And since we're not running Unity Ring, and that does help out a big deal because we want to try to get Tasker and Theo with the Zuni, and we still want to have a certain amount of survivability. And that extra toughness does help when you're going through some tough situations. So we're up to wave 40. Looking like we're doing alright. Got to get that acid cloud hitting everything. And I'm using acid rain because, of course, you know, the radius of it makes it so it hits more enemies. Just to keep my fetish damage on point so we can knock out all these enemies. So it looks like it's clearing very good on the trial rifts. Like I said, I really wish we had some type of AoE though. That would really push it to the next level. But it is nice that most of these monsters can't do anything due to the fact that we have permafear. And it looks like we're going to clear this level as well, as long as we can get some monsters on there. There we go. 42, that means I think we're at 39, so if we can clear one more, that means it starts at 40, which means that's pretty decent. The only bad thing about this build is going to require to get your SMK and your other gear set up for the beginning of the season, so you probably might want to lean towards a Jade build or a Grim Reaper build early on, and then basically come back to this build when you actually get the certain pieces that you need. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be 39, which is okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start on a 41, and then we might try one that's a little bit higher than that. This is one of the highest fishing builds in the game, or one of the best ones for PTR 2.2, because just the ability to CC everything is a big help for this build. And as you can see with the Tasker and Theo and the Zuni Masa pieces, is pretty nice. And everything seems to be dying a lot faster this time around. Hopefully we get some good mob density. We'll have to wait and see. Not looking too good so far, but that might change quickly. We got a little bit of... Ooh, a conduit pylon. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll just speed on through here. Not a lot of mobs though. A little sad about that. Alright, looks like I can get into the middle of the pack. I think I got everything locked down, I'm hoping. It looks like I did. Hopefully I don't take any poison damage when those monsters die. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Get the acid cloud damage down. And yeah, we're doing a lot more damage because the fetishes attack so much faster. Okay, the elite's down. Next to trash monsters, and yeah, that Tasker and Theo is making a big difference. I accidentally was running this build with like 6 pieces of Zuni. Actually, I had enough to run 7. I could afford to drop the piece, and somebody in the chat was like, "Hey Debo, you should be running Tasker and Theo," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," because I have like enough for 7 pieces, which is not necessary. All I need is a 6 piece. So with the increase to the Tasker and Theo, there's a big difference because they can get in more attacks, and now it's starting to make sense. So I did basically one of the most biggest noob mistakes, but that's okay. It happens to everybody. Sometimes you make mistakes and you just correct them. But yeah, definitely flying through this rift now. The attack speed for the fetishes is quite good with Tasker and Theo. Just trying to keep it moving through. Mob density, like I said, could still be a little bit better, but it's manageable. That's a dead end there. Let's see if we can get to an end that doesn't have a dead end. I think we're long overdue for our lead, so one should be coming up fairly soon. There's the elite. I'm gonna go right over to the elite and see if I can grab them all. I don't think I can grab them all in all honesty. I think I'm missing one. And that one is going to be a hater. Hopefully I can spirit walk back in and get all of them. If it stops thunderstorming, I'll be okay. I think I'm good, and as long as that exorcist doesn't hit me, I'm fine. I kind of like always picture when I'm playing this build like I'm like a gymnast. You know how you do all those like different flips through like the air, and then they end up and they have to land and stick the landing. It's like I feel like every time I spirit walk in, I'm doing that and trying to stick the perfect landing. But in this situation, like I don't lose just points if I don't stick the landing, I lose my life. So you'll understand that when you start spirit walking in on monsters and you're trying to like land like the perfect positioning for the horrify effect. Said mob density not looking too great. We'll just try to keep it moving. This will be a wonderful hallway for Jade, or not Jade build, I'm sorry, Carnival build. You gotta be careful. I gotta get all the monsters that are ranged in one area. It looks like I got all of them, so I think we're good to go. So it's like once you get all the monsters that can hit you with range, and this is why you want the Eye of Elich, because that's one of the weaknesses of the build. It's just the range monsters do a number on you. So if you can get some range resistance and stuff like that on your gear and then just get good positioning, it's pretty straightforward. Because the fetishes will do the rest because they do really good damage. And I need to kind of take it easy on spamming some of the acid clouds. I'm just so happy to spam it though. Not too high. I'd have to check, but I don't think it's that high at all, or if anything, dude. Now there is a nice pylon right there, but I can't touch it because the monster is not allowing me to, so we're getting a little bit of a cock block right here. So hopefully the monster moves so I can touch whatever that is. I can't even touch it because it's staying in the same place, but this is kind of unfortunate. But this just, we're still quite far ahead, but that's a little bit annoying. Okay, so we had a channeling. I don't think that's really going to help a lot, in all honesty, because Spirit Walk got nerfed. Normally channeling would be nice because you can just Spirit Walk for forever. You don't have to worry about anything. I just don't know where the monsters that's casting Frozen, and this is like the biggest problem with the Tiki Sack build that drives me crazy. If you don't horrify everything in a certain area, then you automatically are going to die, because especially since we're not running Unity Ring, you're going to get punished quite badly. But it looks like we got all the monsters now. I don't know why I'm taking so much damage. Maybe because I was in the poison. A Bogan, which is the range guy, he's actually starting to shoot darts at me, so hopefully one of the little fetish bodies block it. But I mean, that's the worst thing of the build. If you get a good scenario where you don't have a lot of monsters that do those weird, like, advanced, like piercing attacks, or they don't have, like, any range spells for the elite, it's usually not too bad. Like, these guys right here, the Enslaved Nightmares, they're very scary because they got they have a certain ability. It's a projectile, and it goes through targets, and it makes you go crazy. Nah, this is not optimized by any ways. This is just me throwing all the gear together. My highest optimized build was probably the Wormwood Jade. That one was running really well, but my Tiki Sack is a little bit lacking on PTR. The number, if you want to see some good gear, you gotta check the higher up guy who's number 1. I think he's part of DNA Clan. He has really nice gear. I don't know if he has it on live, but regardless, his gear is pretty nice. He must have got some nice farming in. Got some nice ancient SMK and all that good stuff. Yeah, you have to reapply your dots. Somebody asked a question. Do you have to reapply after you harvest with the Jade? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you don't, and you'll be losing out on damage. This is why it's so nice to run with Wormwood, because the Wormwood auto cast a Locust Swarm, so that's one less thing you can do, and you can keep maintaining your high-end damage. So I gotta get over to here to these Enslaved and these Bogans, because like I said, they do range damage, and we do not like ranged. Of course, I'm gonna get over here to this elite over here. Fire Chains. Fire Chain still works even if you do fear them. It just stays there, and if you touch it, you die. Okay, that was a good kill. So we're doing pretty well. We're doing really good. Yeah, Tony didn't. Yeah, that guy. him or Trash Can and some other guys, I just look at what they're doing. I'm like, oh, that's nice. They got some nice setups in their clan. They get some nice high-level gyms. You go wreck the solo leaderboards. Died right there, but that's okay. We're really far ahead. And this is only a 41. It's probably because it's the Aphasis Toxin gym. If you're using that gym, that's probably the dots that you're seeing. Or you're running a Wormwood and it's reapplying itself. Well, hopefully we don't get no between problems with the ranged. We'll have to see. There we go, a little bit better. Commercial coming up. Won't say anything too important. Or at least for people in the Twitch chat. YouTube people, they won't see the commercial, which is okay. Speed pile? Oh, shield pylon? Okay, that worked. Oh, I should have probably saved that for Rift Guard, but it's only 41. It's not a big deal. But still, I gotta get in the habit of being very careful with my pylons because you don't want to click a pylon on a high level when you're about to rank or something. See if I can get in close. And this should spawn the Rift Guard in. If you have a Aphasis Toxin gym, that's what it is that's the dot that you're seeing. Cool. So that went pretty well. That skips us up to 43. So we're going to go ahead and run a 43. And anything beyond 43, I'll just upload in the secondary video, but I shouldn't need to do that. We'll go ahead and close this rift down and get it started to the next one. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and wait for this to close down. We'll go ahead and do another run. 43 should pretty much be the same thing. As long as we don't get too many crazy elite mobs and stuff like that, we should be alright. Oh, if Big Bad Voodoo had the damage stack, that would be crazy. SNK would be overpowered. Maybe have the Big Bad Voodoos actually do damage, right? Like the fetishes shoot little darts or something. Oh, I did a 39. I didn't want to do a 39. Oh, well, the hell with that. Well, I'll go ahead and stop the recording there, and then I'll go ahead and when I do the higher levels, I'll show it in